Hello everyone. I am here to give some daily insights as I do every day here. And so I have another really special piece of information to share that I'm really excited about in regards to the current planetary energies and what's happening. Now, probably a lot of people know that Saturn in Aquarius stationed direct today at around 6 degrees of Aquarius. And we just had Pluto go direct not too long ago in Capricorn. And in case you don't know yet, on October 18th, Jupiter and Mercury will both go direct on the same day. So, if you've been following me, you know that in one of my recent sharings, I was talking about, wow, I wonder what's going on when the sun in Libra gets to oppose Eris. So I've been pronouncing Eris's name. You can pronounce it two different ways. It's Eris or Eris. And if you are familiar with astrology and follow different asteroids, Eros, you probably have heard of Eros and Psyche, right? Well, Eros is very different than Eris. So I decided I'm going to start saying Eris so that it's very clear what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about, right? What asteroid I'm talking about. But I was thinking about, wow, I really want to look at the chart for when the sun gets to 24 degrees of Libra, where it will square Pluto and oppose Eris, right? The reason why this is interesting is because that's where Mercury was when it went retrograde. It was squaring Pluto and Capricorn and opposing Eris, right? And Aries. So I was really curious about what's going to happen when the sun is opposing Eris. There's going to be something that's going to be poignant, I'm sure. And I looked at that before I hopped on here, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It's such a grand design. I love it. So guess what day the sun opposes Eris? It is the day that Mercury and Jupiter go direct. And this is very special because Mercury is the guide or ruler to the North Node in Gemini, and Jupiter is the guide or ruler to the South Node in Sag. We are coming to a close in this nodal axis. And it is fascinating that the guides or rulers who've been retrograde of those nodes go direct on the exact same day. But not only that, the sun will be opposing Eris. It'll be in the same position it was when Mercury went retrograde in Libra. So this is really, like, when I look at these transits, I just get like this, the message couldn't be more clear. When you start to really learn astrology, you see it. And it's just, it's amazing. So Eris is all about really exposing what is not genuine. And so Eris is known as the goddess of discord or chaos, but that discord or chaos or disruption is actually to expose what is not genuine. And this is so helpful when we're actually exploring Libra consciousness, because Libra consciousness is the part of our consciousness that wants to be liked, accepted, and wants harmony and peace, but it can actually be where there isn't true harmony and peace, because it is the archetype of codependency, and it is the, it is the place in our consciousness where we could be susceptible to codependency and really have unconscious agendas in how we're relating or why we're relating, right? So this configurations are helping us to really get in alignment with right relationship. And that first happens within ourselves, right? So right relationship with ourselves. Now, Saturn just went direct in Aquarius, which is a trine to Libra, right? So it is an air sign just like Libra is. And so this is an ease and energy between Libra and Aquarius. Now, with Saturn going direct, this is really helpful because, I believe it's helpful, because this can really give us the opportunity to really look at what our boundaries are in one-on-one relationships. And really, it can be choice points, because Saturn in Aquarius is basically, there's, with every configuration, there's going to be a vibration of it that is actually expanding consciousness, that is actually growing consciousness individually and collectively. And then there's going to be a shadow side to it where the expression would be something that inhibits the growth of individual consciousness and inhibits the growth of really collective consciousness. So Aquarius is all about individuation. It's about being different, being unique, being true to oneself, no matter how different we are. And so it is the individuation consciousness. It is the consciousness that actually becomes self-responsible in one's own individuation process, as well as in contributing to humanity, in contributing to humanitarianism. It understands, typically, in its light, it understands the need for individual expression and the individuation process, where we detach ourselves from the group, we detach ourselves from group thinking in order to contribute in a unique way as an individual soul on the planet. So the shadow side of Saturn in Aquarius can be codependencies in relationships, that Libra component, right? Its connection to Libra, and gripping on to group thinking and inhibiting enlightened consciousness out of this desire to, or this perception of being safe because you're in the group, right? Aquarius is about groups, but it is, with Saturn there, the shadow side can be perceiving that our safety is to align our values with the group. Now remember, Saturn squaring Uranus and Taurus. Right now, we're in such a transitional time, individually and collectively, that it can be bringing up unconscious fears because it's unknown, because we don't know where we're really going. This is uncharted territory. This is actually an opportunity to really test our own trust in our own soul and our own personal enlightenment. And it is really testing our values, because Saturn square Uranus and Taurus is really going to be this bridging between the past and the future. And we're going to come up to this Saturn exact square in early December. You know, if you've been following me, the nodes of the moon are going to change into Taurus and Scorpio, which is going to be a really big deal in our collective focus, a big change in collective focus. But while we're actually navigating these last few degrees that we're navigating of the nodes with Gemini Sag, this is so important to be completely in alignment with one's individual truth. This is not a time to be aligning with people because of fear or of enabling codependencies, because this time gives us the opportunity to really actually be fully empowered within ourselves on an individual level, which is really our greatest gift to humanity, is to actually harness our own empowerment. And one of the challenges with Libra energy is that when we relinquish our own values to be in relationship, we create codependencies and we enable others to be takers, and we enable inequality. And or we enable ourselves to be takers, right? This prohibits us from actually being self-reliant. And Uranus and Taurus right now is all about, we've got to get on board with being as self-reliant as possible for our own soul evolution on an individual level. And what that means for each individual is very unique. But that is ultimately, with Uranus and Taurus, the opportunity, the energy is to become self-reliant, knowing that your greatest resource is who you are individually, and really standing in the empowerment of your own values, personal values. No one can tell us what we should value. This is the inner work that we do on a soul level. To be here contributing to the collective is to really own the fact that who we are is valuable. What we value is important. It's part of our evolutionary path, therefore it's part of the evolutionary path of the collective. And so right now with Uranus and Taurus, this is really the opportunity to up-level our values, to be sure we're up-leveling our self-value, standing in our own values no matter how different, and not acquiescing to others' values, not relinquishing our values to appease others or to be accepted in the group. Those are just some examples. I'm sure there are many more, but those are the basics, right? So when the sun opposes Eris, it'll be at that point where Mercury went retrograde. It'll be squaring Pluto. It's going to be opposing Eris, and Mercury and Jupiter, the guides or rulers to the nodes, are going direct. This is all about standing in our own truth. That's the bottom line. That is our best way to be in alignment with the truth in general, right? And really with Mercury retrograde and Jupiter, it's just gonna, what's being exposed is the codependent relationships and codependencies, and where there's an imbalance and inequality in relating. And it can have to do with really needing to look at internally, externally in the sense of what are our relationships reflecting, but is it really congruent with what I value? Am I really walking my talk? Am I really actually doing what I say I am? Am I really actually congruent with what I am saying I value, right? Am I actually relinquishing my values to be accepted by someone else or to fight their battles for them? Things like that. It's just going to be exposing those places that we're not relating in a equal basis, where we're being disempowered or we're enabling someone else to be disempowered. And so, interesting times. This is just so fascinating to me. And as I said in the beginning, the fact that the sun opposes Eris on the day these two rulers of the nodes, guides of the nodes, go direct, is absolutely such a grand design. So I hope this is helpful. That happens, by the way, if I didn't mention, it happens on October 18th. So be, noticing what's going on in your world around October 18th. I mean, through this Mercury retrograde, you've probably already had some of the reflections, you've needed, as we all have, in how to make adjustments to actually be relating from an equal basis. But definitely when they go direct, and on that day, the 18th, even days after, noticing what's going on is in your world can be really, really helpful in harnessing the potential and evolution, the potential for evolution in these times, in this cycle, right? So I'm going to see these comments because I didn't see. Great. Thank you so much. Why do you wear too much stone at your neck? That's funny, Saki. I like it. That's why. So, yeah, thanks everyone for hopping on. Joanna, Suban, I'm so sorry if I say your name incorrectly. Surinder, thank you so much for your comment. That is wonderful to hear. I don't know. Is it Vine? Saki. Anyways, lovely to see you all. I hope this is helpful. And if you've been following me, I'll be back tomorrow.